First of all, my congratulations to the City of Alliance and the Alliance Chamber and to all the award winners here tonight and to all of you for what you do, not only for the City of Alliance, but for the great county of Stark. If there's some others here from the other counties, we welcome you too. But you know, it's all of us together working to make this a better place. You know, for me, when a door closes, another door opened. And I have to tell you that my door opened because they fired me as the mayor of the city of Canton. They fired me. And you know, I went home that night and I said to my husband, you know, the sun's going to come up tomorrow morning and we're going to be just fine. But little did I know what was really in store. I was just saying that to make him feel better. Because you see, it's always harder on the candidate's family than it is on the candidate, right, Mayor? It is always harder on the family. So I will tell you the rest of the story. I lost the race in November of 2007, and in December, one Tuesday morning, I happened to be home. I was still mayor, but we had a plumber at the house, and Bill had to leave, and so I said, I'll stay. The phone rang, and it was a friend who said to me, I'm sorry you lost the race. What are you going to do now? And I said, you know, we're just going to go to Florida and have a good time. He said, well, would you like to have a job? I said, well, kind of. He said, well, would you like to work at the White House? And I went, now that's really cruel. To ask somebody to come to work at the White House after they just got fired. They offered me the job on December 31st at 4:22 p.m. Not that I keep track of time. They offered me the position as the Director of Intergovernmental Affairs. There you go. Director of Intergovernmental Affairs, and I was also bestowed a commission by the President and the Secretary of State as Deputy Assistant to the President. There is a pecking order in the White House. Not everyone is a commissioned officer. Out of the thousands of employees, there were only 70 of us that were bestowed the commission. This is the Eisenhower Executive Office building, which is on the 18 acres of property in which you can see the corner of the West Wing there. Most of us worked in the Eisenhower office building because we can't all fit in the White House. My office was on the first floor. My office was large enough that 50 people could stand easily in my office. I had a fireplace, a couch, 4 chairs, a dining room table, a desk, 2 side chairs, and a balcony. The easiest way to explain it is we had nothing to do with Congress and nothing to do with judges. But everybody else, from governors all the way down, we had interaction. My commission, which was, as I said earlier, bestowed, was one of perks and benefits. I had 5 benefits. One was I had a driver. Anywhere I went in the District of Columbia, I had a driver from the United States Army. The second privilege was the use of the White House gym, which I did not use. The third perk is why I should have used the gym, is that I had the use of the White House dining room. 32 seats in the dining room. It is the most exclusive restaurant in the world. It doesn't matter who you are, or who you think you are, or how much money you have. The only way you get in the White House dining room is with a commissioned officer. The fourth perk was the use of the presidential box at the Kennedy Center, which I did use. And my last perk was right over my shoulder in that picture was my parking space at the West Wing. I lived in the district. I rented an apartment, a 2-bedroom, 800 square foot apartment for a grand total of $3,200 per month. And in that little apartment, I had a little galley kitchen, and I had underground parking, and I would drive every day from my apartment to my parking space, coming through 5 gates to get into the White House. This particular picture was the first time that I was ever in the Oval Office. The gentleman underneath the grandfather clock is Josh Bolton, who was the Chief of Staff for the President. The other 2 gentlemen in the back next to the doors going to the Rose Garden are from the White House Media Affairs. The guy behind the desk you all know is George W. Bush. and my boss is standing there beside me as I'm standing there scared to death. This is right before we're ready to walk across the hall to talk to the group of mayors. There was one month that we greeted all the governors from around the nation, the 5 territories, and Mrs. Bush had us all come upstairs. This is actually a picture of the White House residence on the 2nd floor, not always seen by everyone that gets to go to Washington, D.C. She was very gracious and had her picture taken with each one of us. This is the Easter egg roll in which we dye 15,000 eggs. Have over 10,000 people come to visit us on the south lawn. You will notice that at the top, this is the Truman balcony that would be looking south out at the Washington Monument. My grandparents are here in the front, getting ready for the Easter egg roll that was enjoyed really by so many people, and it's just a great event for families. We have 4 full-time florists, and all they do is make sure that every bouquet in the White House is fresh, and that everything for the first family is attended to, and for every event that is held. This is a picture of the President and I on Air Force One. Air Force One is a huge plane, not like anything that we know in commercial flying. The only individuals that sit like regular people are the press. The rest of us sat pretty nicely. This is the boardroom. The other gentleman in the picture is Ed Gillespie, a former national chairman of the Republican Party. President is sitting at the head of the table. TVs all around the room. All of that service is provided by the Air Force. And there are the living quarters for the President and First Lady. We were actually assigned by our rank. I sat at the table for 4 when I flew on the plane, and lazy boy rockers, basically. TV's going the whole time, full operational office. How many people have ever been in the Oval Office here? Okay, we have 1. We have 2. Don't be shy. Don't be 3. Hey, I'm telling you, it's not something that's easily obtained to get into the Oval Office. He invited us in, and from the time we walked in until the time we left, the professional photographer, which by the way, we have 5 in the White House, that follow the President from the time he gets up in the morning till he rests at night, took 11 pictures of my family. Each family member got their own set of pictures and a signed picture from the President. This is one of my keepsakes. This is a special purse. It is the White House. And I told my husband before I left, I will have a Timmy Woods presidential White House purse. He said, how much is it? I said, it doesn't matter how much it costs here. I'm going to have this. And I do. And the last picture is President Bush saying goodbye on January 20th. Some of my staff stayed behind. Some of them live in D.C. I still stay in touch with them. But he is saying goodbye and getting ready to get on Air Force One. I was already back at home in Stark County. I was already packing my bag to go to Florida, and went away for the next 6 months and relaxed, because I never had any downtime after I got fired from my job. So I went to Florida, relaxed, and then for me, when one door closed, another door opened, and now I am your county commissioner. So that is just how things work. You never know. So if there's anybody out there tonight that maybe you've hit a hard time in your life, never doubt for a moment that when it closes, one can open up for you, and you have to be ready to take advantage of that opportunity. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you, and I will entertain any questions. Thank you.